Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Shootout and welcome back to a Premier League roundup. And this one is fantastic and I love today because guess what's happened? George?
I'm going to guess, and if I get it right, everyone's got to subscribe to the channel.
Go for it.
I'm a firm believer that Eunice may well have won the prediction show from last week by a very close scoreline of 9-8.
Come on.
Well done, Eunice.
Come on.
Every dog has their day, is what they say.
And yours is long and gone.
No, I've had 5 of those days, mate. I know how sweet it feels to walk into this studio, sip on these absolutely
Weapons
of some coffee. This is a military arsenal in here. I'm telling you,
It actually
unbelievable.
is. It actually is, and not as good as the Arsenal this weekend.
No.
Did we say? But we won't start there.
We won't start there.
Hold the phone.
We'll
Hold the
start with a
phone.
game that you got spot on. You actually set the tone for the
nailed
week this
this.
week.
I actually did. And when this result came in, actually, I messaged you. I was just instantly like,
I've
3
seen,
points.
I've never seen a man text so quickly after a Manchester United goal. Oh, it's 2-2. I'm gonna text George.
Mate, when the Lick scored that second goal, I'm like,
Bro, it hadn't even gone in on my screen. I was about 30 seconds delayed, and Eunice was already there buzzing me. But it was this was actually a bit of a letdown of a match for me, weirdly. And I don't want to start on a downer, but I will say I thought this was going to be like a really high quality game of football.
Yeah.
But it really wasn't.
It really wasn't.
Like both teams I thought were really poor. If we look now at the Premier League table, I think this is kind of a damning indictment really on the quality of the league, which is also, you can take it back to that Europa League final as well, which was obviously like 2 teams that were basically nearly relegated last season, put in a dross affair in the final. And even though it was 2-2, which sounds entertaining, it really wasn't all that great.
No, I feel like both of these teams were like had really good moments and really bad moments. It was like the momentum would shift over to one team to take like the reins for a good portion of the game, and then it would shift back to the other end, and they would fall asleep. There wasn't like a real proper match going on. It was either one team or the other.
Yeah.
And United started off what should have been fairly bright, and you'd think, all right, you've set some momentum, now you can run away with it. Switched off. And then Tottenham, all of a sudden, who was switched off, wake up.
Yeah.
And we saw a couple of, I say, decent goals for Spurs. Poor defending from United.
Can I ask a question to Tottenham fans? If any of you are somehow watching this video, right, when Xavi Simons comes off, is he getting booed or is Thomas Frank getting booed for bringing him off?
I can not confirm, but I've heard word on the street. Xavi Simons is getting booed.
He's had a stinking start to Tottenham life, hasn't he? Really.
In fact, he got booed when he came off against Chelsea.
Well, then, are we sure about this? Because I was sure,
Yep.
and then I watched it back again, and I look at the highlights, and I look at some of the reaction to it, and I'm like, maybe it's actually just booing Thomas Frank. But to be fair to Thomas Frank, he brings on Matisse Tell, who scores.
He scores.
Can I also ask a question about Richarlison? Because this guy's not all right.
Mate, he's not
okay. It's the worst Premier League goal you'll ever score in your life. It's nothing to do with you, mate. You're in the way, effectively. You ruined Odebear's moment. That would have been a cracking goal.
To be fair,
And he's acting like he scored the winner in the World Cup final, mate.
Yeah.
Sit down.
No, the reaction and the celebration and all of that, I think, is wild. I will say the little flick on is actually smart.
I'm going to say it hit him. I'm not giving him this credit for no reason, bro.
I think that's smart because when you have the ball coming at you as a shot like that, and you think, if I get a little dink on this, the keeper's not going to know it.
Eunice
Chances
is a
are it
striker,
might
so
go-
he knows, to be fair.
And don't get me wrong, it is stealing the goal. And he knows what he's doing. He's stealing the goal. And as a striker, you're just going to try and take it because you want the goal, right? But it does throw the keeper off. So I do think that gives more of a chance for the ball to go in. But that reaction was just outrageous. And if you realise, and this is the thing now, every time he takes his shirt off, Tottenham
Something
concede.
bad happens.
Tottenham concede. Every time.
Yeah.
So Richarlison, stop.
We don't want to see it.
When the
Some
fun,
people might. I don't.
When the fun stops, stop.
Speaking of stop, should we stop talking about Richarlison and
Yeah.
move on to his old club? Because they had a good win this weekend. Everton 2, Fulham 0.
Yep.
Comfortable. Fulham, I actually think, are in a bit of trouble here this season, to be honest. I think their away form is abysmal. They got 1 point on the road all year, which isn't good enough. They've won a fair few at home, But I'm looking at the table, and we literally did call this, right? West Ham winning, Forest winning. West Ham back-to-back wins, which is quite important, and Forest 4 points at home under Sean Dyche. So that gap between Fulham now and 19th is 2 points. And Fulham's form is stinking up the gap. If it wasn't for Wolves, mate, Fulham would be propping up the table right now.
They would. And overall, Fulham... Look, this game, Everton... I feel like we're decent. However, Fulham were poor.
Very poor.
And this is a trend now. I feel like if this is going to continue a little bit longer, Marco Silva is in big trouble.
I think the problem with that is, I think he's a really good manager. And I would have argued at the start of this season, you know, like sometimes you've got a club and you look at their manager and you're like, maybe he's a bit better than the club.
Yes.
No disrespect to Fulham, but I would have said that at the start of the season. Yeah. And obviously now, you know, hindsight's a wonderful thing. Fulham are now 15th. Silva's clearly struggling. But I wouldn't say sacking him. I just think that they've got to start getting some kind of momentum on the road. For Everton, they could have had more, mate. They had, what, 3 disallowed goals in this game?
Yes.
And a couple of them, for me, were relatively dubious. There's a couple more we'll talk about later in this video. Goals that should have been goals this weekend. But 2-0 Everton win.
Although, Fulham, I feel like their team, right, it surprises me how poorly they're playing.
They should be doing a lot better than this.
Yeah, I mean, they've got the personnel they actually have. You'd think they should be testing Everton in a game like this. Although, and I did think that Everton would nick it, but I didn't think it would be as, I'd say, fairly straightforward as that game was actually for Everton. Fulham just seem like they can't get out of second gear in the way that they play, and they should. You know, Sessegnon and Iwobi and even Bassi, and they've got players there that should get the job done. They're just not clicking, and I feel like when they had a good performance at the start of the season, that's kind of frizzled out as well.
Yeah, they've got to win some games away from home. Yeah. Easier said than done in the Premier League. Yeah. Just ask Burnley, who were beaten 3-2 at West Ham. Back-to-back wins for Big Nuno. Scott Parker was disappointed afterwards. Burnley conceding too many silly goals, he said. But West Ham seem to have turned it on now. And do you know what? I feel like I was in a minority when I was saying a couple of weeks ago. People were saying, "Oh, West Ham's team is too good to be down there." I was like, "Are you sure?" I'm not convinced by that. But it looks as though there's something building there. 2 wins in a row in the Premier League. No matter where you are in the table, Wolves would spend a lot of money to get that right now. It's not going to happen at all season. Yeah. But West Ham got the job done. And if you're Burnley, I think you're starting to get a bit worried now. Do you know what I mean? That was a 6-pointer. They could have gone 6 points ahead of West Ham. They're now level.
Can I just say to West Ham, like, I nearly got 3 points from you lot, and you decided to flip in. Walker Peters decided to go, "Oh, I'll score in the 87th." You know, and then Burnley were like, "All right, we'll get one back." But look, this is the history of the Burnley now, isn't it?
Like, the history of the Burnley. That's the first one. We got a bingo card. We got to get that in for all clubs at some point this season. Done.
We got to get every single one in. But this is probably a game that explains why it's more likely Burnley are going to go down. It's these sort of games. Yeah. And yet West Ham are not going to get relegated. They're just not. They're just not. They made the change when they had to, and I feel like now Nuno is going to pick up some rhythm. They'll probably finish mid-table.
You reckon?
But again, outcomes and whatnot, we'll see.
I'm going to say 16th from now. Just throw out a random number there.
And that would be, I think, West Ham probably looking at themselves going, okay, we ended the season a bit badly.
Yeah, because they're going to go on a little run now, probably, and then peter off. Kyle Walker peter off, mate.
But Burnley, Burnley need to, I don't know if they can, to be honest. They need to scratch and claw here and try and get something from somewhere, because it's not looking like they're able to keep up with anyone. No,
the promoted club's starting to struggle, apart from Sunderland. Tell you what, Brian Brobby, mate, I've always been a huge fan of this bloke.
Always. Since his academy days.
Reggie Lebris as well.
Watching him.
Wow, what a manager. he could manage Arsenal one day, this geezer. Sunderland 2, Arsenal 2. And boy, did we all need that.
We did.
2 goals in one weekend. Thank you. Shut your door now when it comes to talking about your defence. And points dropped. The title race is on.
It's on. It's on like Donkey Kong.
That's it.
And for Arsenal, obviously they've got some injuries. It's the international break now. We'll see what happens when they're going to get players coming back. But this game was always going to happen. right? I feel like fans have become, as a whole, I've seen some reaction from the Arsenal fans. I'm like, are you lot all right? Like, Arsenal are rubbish all of a sudden. No. And Arsenal were not bad in this game. I give credit to Sunderland. Sunderland were phenomenal in this game. And why? Because they showed up physicality. That's their strength, and they're using it against everybody.
Yes.
They've got, and that's not going to be sustainable. Don't get me wrong, right? They get after Christmas, Sunderland will tire. In the same way, like we're going to get to another team that's been doing well and they got absolutely roasted this weekend. But Sunderland, I feel like, will be able to maintain to a certain point, and then they might not be able to cling on. But right now, they're able to do it, and they have so much. Look, they got a lot of togetherness. They're moving as a big block, whether they're attacking or whether they're defending. They're making it hard. They're tightening those spaces. Arsenal, despite that, did find a couple of times to get through.
Trossard's goal was
outrageous. Phenomenal. Brilliant finish. And even Saka's contribution in this game, he was finding spaces. Captain, by the way, and done well. Fair play to Saka. He's come a long way for that. Arsenal were not at their best, but they were decent. But credit to Sunderland, man. They were clawing and fighting, and they managed to get themselves a result. That last-minute equaliser was phenomenal. We celebrated that on the watch-along as well. So
almost as much as any of the Chelsea goals, to be fair.
Yeah.
I will say this, though, about Arsenal. I think this result, Arsenal fans might... You know, it's like on Football Manager, right? If you have a really good start and then you draw one game or you lose one, it's like, oh, no, it's not very good anymore. It's not... It's still a good result, this. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Sunderland have been excellent all season. And there was nothing to say that this was going to be the game where Sunderland would capitulate. I think we both said they win by 1 goal. I said 1-0, you said 2-1.
Yes.
So again, very close. You're very close to some serious victory this weekend.
It would have been outrageous. And look, I think Arsenal's disappointment comes in that very thing, that they were winning the game. They were this close to getting 3 points at a very tough place to go to this season, and they lost it just in the very, very end. It feels like a 96-minute winner or something.
Yeah.
But here's another one. This is the history of the Premier League.
Wow. Oh, wow. You've gone for the full hog.
You don't get this anywhere else.
Honestly, you're so right. We spoke Champions League about how the Premier League is just absolutely slapping La Liga this season.
Yeah.
But like, there's just so much entertainment. And the next game was very entertaining, wasn't it? Chelsea 3, Wolves 0.
For many reasons.
Title race is back on.
We weren't saying that after the end of the first half, were we?
Oh, absolutely not, mate. I wanted to go to bed. I really did want to go to bed. I was like, it was abysmal. The first half was
shocking.
A stinker. The second half
was wonderful.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Malo Gusto scoring. Benson betting on it. What more do you need? People genuinely didn't believe I did that, by the way.
No.
I got so much stick in my DMs. Like, oh, why would you even post that? You didn't do that. I was like,
really?
Well, you didn't. Clearly, I did.
He actually did.
I did.
Like, he actually did, and it came through.
Look, if ever he was going to score, it was going to be against Wolves. They're rubbish, mate. They are stinky.
Wolves, you're going down.
Yeah.
Like, you're actually going down.
I've seen some of their fans have said, like, they're going to do a double relegation.
What do you mean like going to League One?
I mean, like, it wouldn't be the first time this has happened. Not to Wolves, but to a club that go down.
Yeah.
Wolves are too big of a club to do that,
Sure.
I think.
Well, we've said that about teams in the past.
Yeah.
You know, Pompey were too big at one point.
Sunderland.
Blackburn were too big at one point.
Yeah.
Sunderland were too big at one point. Leeds were...
It's the history of the relegated teams, isn't it, really?
It's the history of the pyramid.
It's the history of the pyramids. God, we should go to Egypt, shouldn't we? We should go to Egypt.
Just draw like the flipping football hierarchy on the pyramids.
I'll tell you who might need a pyramid statue at the end of his career. Esteval.
Flip, what a player.
I love him so much, man.
What a player this guy is. I mean, look, and I feel like, because this is a shootout, and we're going to have non-Chelsea fans out here, this game, and we got a lot of messages, personally and collectively, from non-Chelsea fans going, oh, I get what you mean now. They saw that game, and I was like, oh, okay, I see. Yeah, no, he looks fantastic. I'm gonna put it out here right now. Esteval will win the Ballon d'Or at some point.
In the next 6 years.
Some point, he will be a Ballon d'Or winner.
He's too good, man. He's too good.
What
Everything he does is levels above what it should be.
Yeah.
But that's when you know a player is actually that good.
Yeah.
Because he's 18, hardly speaks a word of English, walks into Chelsea Football Club, and he's like, I'm him.
Literally.
Cole Palmer's injured. Don't worry about it. I got you. It's okay.
And he does it so nonchalant.
Yeah.
You know, he comes
Effortless.
on, and it's not just one side of the game. It's all sides of the game. He comes on. He's chasing down the ball at 600 miles an hour, running like a horse. He wins the ball, nutmegs, links up, 1-2s, making the runs, cutting in. He's shooting. He's passing. He's assisting. He's doing it all.
Nutmegs over the head of the defender. What more do you need?
He's strong as well. He gets stuck in. I'm like, this guy's doing everything.
Yeah.
And he's doing it like he's got a smile on his face.
World-class
Doing it for fun.
potential.
Without a doubt. Look, just so people understand, and just to show we're not getting carried away, we can't actually come out here and say Cole Palmer will win the Ballon d'Or. We reckon he can and he should, but outright, like he will, it's tough.
I think they'll take it in turns, mate.
Esteval, I can say, will.
Yeah. Nah,
Surely.
100%.
Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
So keep your eyes on him, man. Keep your eyes on him. And Maresca, start starting him.
It's just a matter of time. I was trying to think of a song lyric. There is definitely a song out there. It's just a matter of time. I don't know what I'm on about, but it is just a matter of time.
Right now, it's the history of the Maresca.
We got slow down. We got to fit them in. We got to fit them in as nonchalant as Esteval's flicks
Facts.
over the heads of one.
Yeah.
Aston Villa 4, Bournemouth 0.
This is the team.
This is it. This is the team that you mentioned. This is Bournemouth's moment of collapse. Is it going to be a full collapse though?
Not collapse, no. But Bournemouth are a quality team, but this result was due.
Yeah, this was a capitulation individually in this game.
Yes.
Villa were bloody good.
Phenomenal.
Really good.
They're back.
Oh, for real.
We're
They're
saying back.
currently 6th.
Yeah.
And despite that loss to Liverpool, which, you know, going to Anfield and losing, despite Liverpool being utterly awful at the weekend too, it's not the worst result in the world. Goals have been a problem for Aston Villa, and then 4 come on all at once, like a London bus. And, I mean, they were superb. I was watching the Sky multi-view thing, which is actually really cool, by the way. Well done, Sky. You watch all 4 of the 2 o'clock kickoffs, which is really cool.
Amazing.
And
they should do that for the frees.
They should. But then, you know.
UK law, though.
Oh, goodness
Flipping
me.
change it.
There's quite a few I could actually name there that could be quite good to change.
Why do you think we're here?
Why do you think we're here? Trust me. Oh,
Honestly.
but no, Bournemouth. You've said this in the build-up as well. We both actually said Villa were going to win, but you said that Bournemouth will have a dip. Do you think this dip is going to escalate, or do you think that this is the dip, the guacamole?
A bit of half and half. Like, when I say dip, I don't think they're now going to just lose 4 games in a row. But these games are going to happen. And you see where Bournemouth were, like top 4 all of a sudden. No, they are going to take a little hit. But they're a good enough team to be able to stay in and around the 7th, 8th, maybe 6th mark around there and fight for a European spot. I think they will be there because the team is playing like a team that should be at that level. Riola is setting them up and he is doing a fantastic job overall. But the quality of the players that they have is not going to allow them to be able to compete for 38 games total and go toe-to-toe with teams like this, for example, that do have better personnel and get a result against all of them consistently. It's not going to happen.
Credit to Alex Scott for an England call-up as well, by the way.
Yes.
Solid midfielder.
Yeah, deserved.
Yeah.
Deserved. And to be fair, this is a time we can even talk about this at some point. Probably into international break. But Thomas Tuchel is going to have a chance to be able to look at these sort of players that are a little bit rogue. Now that we've already qualified, so I'm looking forward to seeing what Alex Scott's going to do.
Yeah,
because I think he will play.
Absolutely.
But yeah, Bournemouth. Look, reality check.
Slapped into gear, mate, by Unai Emery.
They'll
Who's
be back.
beaten Iraola every time he's managed
Yeah.
against Iraola.
Yep.
Which is pretty good going for any manager, really.
But credit to Villa because they were stinking up the place at the start of the season for whatever reason, and they've got themselves back into gear.
They could have gone
Properly.
really south as well, couldn't
Yeah.
it? Like when you go into that kind of form and you're a club that has high expectations, I was surprised. Like I did not expect that from Villa. I thought that the team last season looked good. Obviously, it could have been like a hangover from what could have been last season, then it just wasn't.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like at one point, I was thinking, yeah, these lot are going to get Champions League football, having been in the Champions League last year, and then they didn't. But they could be up there again, I think. For
Now
sure.
they definitely can.
I think they'll overtake Sunderland at some point. based on what we're seeing right
realistically, you'd think, realistically.
Brentford 3, Newcastle 1, Eunice.
Newcastle have problems.
Newcastle really do have problems because they just cannot do the midweek weekend. And I was surprised. Brentford, it's not really a surprise, Brentford at home, because they can turn it on. And I think Brentford deserve a lot more credit, actually, than they've probably been given this season, because I thought they were going to struggle big time. You lose Mbeumo, you lose Wissa, who, let's be honest, all of the goals were coming from them. The majority of the goals were coming from them. You lose both of them. You lose a manager who's been with you for, what, 7-8 years? Keith Andrews comes in. No disrespect to him. I didn't think he was going to do as good of a job as Thomas Frank. And look at the teams that they're above right now. Everton, Newcastle, Fulham. And they're winning games of football, and they're winning convincingly too. Like 3-1 against Newcastle from 1-0 down is no mean feat.
They're winning now. When you look at the calibre of teams underneath them, though, all of them have had issues. And Newcastle have big issues right now. Newcastle, in this game specifically, I mean, the red card was probably the turning point.
Yeah.
Where Dan Burn gets second yellow. And then all of a sudden, they just capitulate. But it's like you said, in midweek, in the Champions League, they look decent and they're showing up. But it's such a Newcastle thing for them to then go to the Premier League and then struggle in that following game. And there's been a lot of that going on. And now I'm seeing there's a bit of scrutiny on Eddie Howe, some of the personnel that he's picking. Overall, it just feels like there isn't enough consistency for Newcastle to go on a good run in the Premier League, which they have to. They're sitting in 14th. With the resource that they have, this is unacceptable for Newcastle, albeit, though, and this is where we can talk about the top end of the table as much as these teams that are in this sort of position. This can turn at any point. But Newcastle have to wake up now because right now this is not good. And you know what? If this were to continue, it's inevitable that Eddie Howe will be under the scope.
To be fair, they can't play Champions League every game, can they? They're doing very well there.
They are.
To be fair, like I know Newcastle fans will be like, well, look at the Premier League. That sucks. 14th is very poor for a Champions League side. Yeah. I mean, we've seen this before with Chelsea, haven't we? And then the thing is, we go and win something at the end of it. I don't know if Newcastle are going to do that.
Yeah.
This season.
That's the history of the Chelsea.
That is the history of the Chelsea, to be fair. We'll let Eunice have that one. That's another tick off the card. Palace 0, Brighton 0. This was a letdown, to be honest. Big letdown.
The M23 derby did not show up on the M23.
Mate, the motorway's closed. Get in the bin. Take your derby and stick it up your back. No, I'm joking. I understand why this is a big game, but it really did let the side down for the weekend. Like, all of the matches at 2 o'clock on Sunday were significantly more entertaining than this one. Palace, toothless, really. Arteta didn't really have a sniff. Brighton, I think this is actually quite a good result for them because I think they'll pick up enough points at home that this kind of draw away won't disappoint Herzl too much.
No. Overall, I'm not surprised this has finished 0-0 considering how Palace like to play. And I feel like with the way that Brighton play, I can see why Palace set up in the way that they set up. Similarly to how Sunderland set up against Arsenal. Yeah. Where they want to use their size, their strength, their bodies, being really tight and, you know, a big block that you're not going to get through because Palace can do that on the physical side. Brighton are a team that like to run and play with the ball. So I get why Palace have done that. In fact, even the chances, no real clear-cut chances for Palace. Were a couple for Brighton. But this is why I'm not surprised it's finished 0-0 in that case. Overall, look, decent away point for Brighton. Palace can even look at this and go, you know what, decent point against a team like Brighton, who do play good football.
You don't know what you're going to get, mate. They're a bit of a pick and mix.
But it's a little bit of it's hit and miss. Yeah. But Palace at home as well might look at this and go, we probably wanted to win that game.
I think they would have wanted to, and if they would have won that, they would have been right now. Fourth. They would have been fourth.
That's what stings. But
looking at the table, mate, you'd just love that, wouldn't you? If you're a Palace fan and you're looking at it during the international break and you're fourth, keep playing England. We'll just stay here all season if we want to.
Exactly. No. Exactly.
Not the result they would have asked for, but Forest, they're back. They beat Leeds 3-1. Leeds are in trouble, mate.
Leeds are in trouble.
Leeds are in more trouble, in my opinion, than Burnley.
I agree. And they shouldn't be. Leeds have a better team, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
they just, again, it's the same. What is a team when they can't score goals?
Yeah. To be fair, like they started with Dimitra up front and he scored a lovely goal.
Yeah.
But then not even 60 seconds after when the ball's back in play, Forest the level. Like, come on. It's the Premier League, guys. You got to dig in. You've got to understand that you sometimes are most vulnerable after just scoring a goal. It's the old adage as it goes. But Forest, that looked like that we're back kind of performance. You know, you could see the smiles on everyone's faces at the end. Like, it's almost a relief. You know, there's a lot of good players in that Forest team that have just looked like a shadow of the men they once were, some would say.
Mate, and this is the history of the Sean Dyche.
This is the history of the short Dyche, to be fair. This is the history of video today. We should actually do the history of the shootout.
We should have a counter in the corner going like, this is the history of 1, 2, 3,
Somebody
4.
make the bingo cards and put it in the comments down below.
But to be fair, no, look, Forest have gone back to type in the way that they play. I think that suits the strengths of the players that are in the squad under Sean Dyche, who's getting it out of them, and it's working. Leeds, though, I feel like I can safely say, and let us know in the comments if you agree or if you disagree with this. Leeds have a team that should be playing like a Premier League side, but when they play, they look like a Championship team.
Yes.
So, like, for example, their fullbacks, or like even just defensively, sometimes they're a little slow to react. They try to go all in just in terms of a tackle, but they're slow, their timing's off. It's very rusty, a little all over the place. And the Championship does have a lot of that because it's like, as far as I'm concerned, I see the Championship as it's like the first division of pure English football.
Yes.
You
Of the
know what I mean?
pyramid.
Yeah, and then the Premier League is like, it's the
Tier of
Premier
its
League and it's
own.
mixed and you've got loads of different mentalities and cultures and people that are in there. But
Yeah.
the Championship is just, you know what I mean?
Do it again. Go on. Give us some more.
And I feel like they're trying to play in that manner. And in the Premier League, you just can't do that week in, week out and expect results.
No.
You know, it's like that's all they've got. But on paper, they should be playing better football. And I don't know if it's maybe just fuck that can't really get it out of them. I don't know.
I mean, I heard a stat. You're going to love this one. I know how much you adore XG chat. But
Yay.
Leeds apparently had the fourth lowest expected goals against prior to that game. And then Nottingham Forest, I think, had more chances against them than any other team has this season. So if you're defending well and then all of a sudden you can't do that, you do struggle to score. So you add those two things together, you're not going to be doing very well, to be quite honest with you.
Yep.
Speaking of not doing very well, Arne Slot had a 100% record against Pep Guardiola before this weekend, and now he doesn't. That was convincing from Man City. I'd rather focus on them first of all, personally, because I'm always the first one to claim that Man City are boring, or not. I don't really like talking about them very often, but I've really gained a respect for Pep in the last couple of months because the way that he's got this team playing again now is fantastic. Nico Gonzalez, I was hearing rumours about 6 weeks ago that they might even look to sell him in January, and then he's turning up with a goal against Liverpool. Erling Haaland, I mean, what is there left to say at this point about him?
And he missed a pen.
And he did miss a penalty, but then the goal, he didn't know much about the goal, but he scored. Like, people like look at his numbers, bro. I saw Matisse posted this on his Instagram story.
Yep.
He was like, some fans would be happy with this goal tally at the end of the season.
That he's already got now.
And he's already got what? At 14? Mental, mate.
This is the history of the Haaland.
This is. This really is. He's a joke, mate. He's leveled up his game.
He's a cheat code.
And he's better now than he was before, which is mental to say.
He's an absolute cheat code. And he is scoring goals in clutch. Like, when it's necessary and it's needed, he's like, I'm here, don't worry.
Yeah.
Hold my coffee. And he delivers. But overall, City are playing better.
I think they're the most maybe Chelsea, most likely team to challenge Arsenal.
Right now, yeah.
I really want to say, you can tell, can't you? I really want to say Chelsea.
Let us know if you think that's the case.
I mean, we can.
We should.
We should.
We should.
We got Palmer to come back.
Yeah.
We will.
But Man City just cohesively look like they've got their mojo back. Even the football that they were playing in this game. Yeah. I mean, from build up all the way to finishing off, they were just levels above Liverpool. Liverpool were not good.
I've never seen Liverpool look so void of energy.
So bland.
This would never have happened under Jurgen Klopp. Even if they were tired,
Agreed.
this would never have happened.
No.
Like the end of that first half, they looked like the game had been going on for 150 minutes.
Yeah.
Like they looked so leggy. I couldn't believe what I was seeing from that Liverpool team.
Although I will say this because they didn't create enough, even close to enough. But when Van Dijk did score that disallowed goal,
That's a goal.
that's a goal, isn't it?
There's no way that.
Why
can
was
get
that
ruled out.
disallowed?
Well, the
I mean,
the
I
reason
understand
was
Robertson was in an offside position, but
mate, he's got Donnarumma's never getting there. That's an unreal header from
he
Van
wasn't
Dijk.
blocking the view either.
No,
And Robertson just ducked.
I think that's just another one of those referee got it wrong. It could have changed the game, but there's no point even talking about that really because it could have changed the game. But realistically, City were levels above Liverpool.
They were.
Big time.
They were. And every time they hit them on a break, realistically, that should have been Liverpool doing it to them.
Yeah.
But again, players like Mo Salah, like,
Verts,
is he there?
Gone.
But everyone's just disappeared.
Isak on the bench with his hood up. It
It's,
don't look good, does it? They're 8th in the Premier League, mate. They've lost 5 out of 11 games, Liverpool.
This is not the history of the Liverpool. This is not. And look,
It's really bad.
title race is over for Liverpool.
Yeah.
It's not even a debate now. It's not even a debate.
Arsenal, I don't see... No.
Mathematically, don't get me wrong. Yes, they're still there, but you can't be losing these games and expect to win the league. It's not happening.
No. I
not
think,
happening.
yeah, this is a big weekend for Arsenal in essence because even though City and Chelsea both won 3-0, I think Liverpool would have been the most concerning team even up until a couple of weeks ago. And I think Arsenal can be like, all right, well, that's one team now that are probably put to bed,
Yeah.
tuck them up, say goodnight. And City and Chelsea, who knows? But I've got a sneak feeling that Chelsea could do something, you know. When you look at our actual run, and I know it's a weird one because at halftime I was like, God, we're rubbish. But we were rubbish. Of course I'm going to say we were rubbish because we were.
First half was dreadful.
But I think we're just a ticking time bomb at the moment of just things clicking. Garnacho, we've not mentioned him in this video.
No,
He was great.
no, he was class. And there's personnel there that are either, you know, players like Esteval, for example, players to come back from injury. No, look, Chelsea, and this is the thing with Chelsea, we tend to really go for it when the games are big. And the games that we've got after the international break,
I can't wait.
Barcelona at home, and then Arsenal at home.
In the same week.
And that can define the trajectory of the season.
Yeah.
Just from those games alone. I reckon we can beat Barca.
Do you reckon? Imagine if we lose to Burnley and beat Barcelona and Arsenal.
Be very Chelsea. Would be very. It'd be that would be the history. No, that's not the history of the Chelsea. I can't say that.
No.
That's this is the new weird history of the Chelsea. But that's also in terms of Arsenal and their title race. That could be defining because they've got hard games coming up. They got
Tottenham.
Spurs, and then they got Chelsea.
Mate.
So, look, this is the Premier League at the moment. What's going to happen and where a team's going to end up, God knows. Right now, God knows. When we look at the table and we look from Arsenal are 4 points clear of City, but City being in second on 22 points, it's mental that 7 points from City is Everton in 13th.
Yeah. It's
7
very close.
points.
Very close.
And everyone's quite close all the way to West Ham in 18th, and then you got the rest basically. But it's very, 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 very tight. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams are all on 18 points at the same time right now.
Yeah, that's mad.
It's nuts.
With
It's nuts.
different variations.
It's
of
incredible.
Score of results. 6 wins and 5 losses for Liverpool, and Villa, Man United, and Bournemouth with 5 wins and 3 draws.
Everyone's beating each other and everyone's losing to each other, and it's chaos.
Class Premier League season for me so far. It's been
Love
top, and it will be even more top if Arsenal aren't top.
Exactly.
So we'll leave that up to Chelsea and Manchester City for now, or maybe
100%.
Sunderland. Who knows? If you did enjoy this Premier League review, you know what to do. Smash the like button and subscribe to ShootOut. We'll be back in this very studio on Thursday with some more content, won't we, Eunice?
Absolutely. And we've got the international break coming up, so make sure you guys are hitting subbed for what's coming there, because we'll make sure we have you covered during this international break, and we won't leave you with any content.
We're both here. So
Yeah.
what excuses do we have, eh?
None.
Unless this kills me.